Alright everybody, I thought I'd make a video again here on the Homestead farm. Trying to make a path, and my problem on my property over here on this side is I have these big boulder rocks. Some of them are very large, and you can see through there. Here's some of them sticking up that are on the other side of the fence that I'm going to end up moving at some point. But they're just, you know, large rock. It's a shelf up through here. There's a good view on there. And I mean, there's about 3 foot high. So, anyway, I need to make a path, and I need some rock anyway. So I come down through, and I bought a jackhammer at one point, and man, that thing about beat me to death. And it didn't always bust the rock up like I wanted it to. Sometimes it would just drill a hole, and sometimes it would shatter it. Here's one I blasted earlier. What I do is I blast it, and then I come back later all at once, and I get the backhoe and dig all the rock out, because a lot of times you can't really see how much broken up the rock is until you start digging it out. This here is a big old hunk of rock, and I blasted it out and got it down to where I can get the backhoe down through here. Even though it don't look too smooth, I actually can get the backhoe down here. These here are huge that I blasted, and they come loose, and I'm gonna have to blast them again, I think, or get the jackhammer and break them up, because I've got all these I don't like cutting all the trees out. I like some of the trees, so I don't know, I like trees. I'm gonna clear up some of this brush, but obviously because of the rocks, we can't bush hog back here and kind of keep it clear. It's not good for that. So anyway, I'm gonna show you how I've been blasting rock, and it's actually very affordable. I'm not saying don't, you know, liability purposes, I say don't do this at home, kids. But, you know, you can get Pyrodex or some other black powder equivalent. I'm using double F powder. And I have this, I'm probably talking too much and probably not videoing very good. I'm not a professional, folks. I bought this at Harbor Freight, and I spent a little bit of money on it, but the battery, because I work full time and then I work on the weekends here, I wanted something where if I got home early one day, I could just come out here for a little bit and do, you know, 1 or 2 blasts and go in. And if I get like a big one, a big hammer drill, it would, you know, require me to get the generator out and everything. So for actually getting work done in between working full time, I invested the money and bought this Bauer hammer drill here that takes those crap, I can't remember the name of them, but they're the specialty bits that lock into these hammer drills. It's the smaller size, it's not the biggest one. Anyway, this is a 1/2 inch masonry bit. It's like 12 inches long. It's actually a little bit longer than that, but you know, I only drill about 12 inches deep with it. Anyway, you take that and your handy Harbor Freight bicycle pump, still got the tag on it. That sucker is invaluable. You start drilling, and as you drill and you get a pile of powder dust, you just pump that, you know, take the end off. This is the one I bought, and I just pulled the end right off of it. And you can blow the dust away. Don't, you know, inhale it. Try to stand downwind of it, or just hold your breath and then move away when you make a big cloud. But when you're done drilling, make sure you stick this all the way down in the hole and keep pumping until dust stops coming out of the hole. You wouldn't believe how much dust will stay in that hole when you stop drilling. You'll know it when it's out, because it won't blow any more dust out. It'll look like a cloud coming out, and it'll stop. Anyway, this is the sketchy part here. It's not really sketchy. This only uses about the same, maybe a heavy muzzle loader load worth of powder. I have this powder measure here, and this is actually for a pistol, and it's it measures out around 30 grains per dump, and I put 4. So that's 120 grains, which is quite a bit of powder for a rifle, but I just did that. No, I did not. Okay, we're good. Okay, anyway, so what I'm gonna do is, boy, this is gonna require some editing, I'm sure, if I even edit it, because I'm lazy. All right, I've drilled my hole all the way down. It's about 12 inches deep. The next thing you do is you get your fuse, make sure you cut it, and you just stick it all the way down. This is what I do, because I don't want to risk it not going off. That's the worst case scenario. You light it, it fizzes, and then it doesn't go off. You don't want that. So, and then I just leave a small bit hanging out. You really can leave this pretty short, because if you get the slow burn fuse, I got this at Cannon Fuse. It's online. You can't really get it locally anywhere that I know of, but it's Cannon Fuse. Just look up Cannon Fuse. Anyway, it goes so far down in the hole, even if you leave this short and it burns, it takes it a while. You got plenty of time, and when you light it, just walk away carefully. Don't trip on nothing and fall down, you know. But anyway, you put that in the hole. I'm going to take this. Sorry guys, I'm trying to record and do this at the same time. Put your finger over the end. You can get a powder measure for a muzzle loader and just pour it in and measure out your load amount that you want to put in there. But this is, I just had this old pistol loader, and this is what I use. So there's one. So that would be equivalent to 30 grains. 2. 3. 4. I hope that's 4. Oh my God. Yes, okay. Well, I'm going to stop there because I'd rather it be a small explosion than a big one. Okay, so I've got 4 loads in there. And now all you do is, I just find dead leaves. Right now they're everywhere. You can get paper or whatever else you want to. And I just make sure it's dry, and you put it down in the hole to pack that in. Okay? And you just pack it in the hole. This is not going in good. There we go. Basically, you're just trying to create a barrier. Hey, guys, I'm way better at this when I'm not filming. I promise you. I've done so many of these things, and I'm shaky. I don't know why. This is a horrible video. I just cracked on myself. I can't even see if I'm holding the camera right. Okay, anyway, you gotta find some more dead leaves. So find dead leaves. I'm gonna pause, and we'll move ahead. And basically, you just keep packing some dead leaves in there till you know you have a good barrier between the powder and the clay that we're gonna stick in there in a minute. So let me get this packed in, and I'll turn it back on. All right, I've got my leaves in there. Then you just get you some clay dirt, or you can use masonry sand. I've used sand, and I think the clay works better if you have it. And what I do is I just crumble it down in there, and just a little bit, and then take your dowel rod. Yeah, just get little dowel rods from Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever. And so I'm using to pack it with. Sorry guys, I'm trying. Can't comb my hair in the mirror either. So, alright. And you just add the clay. And you keep packing a little. Don't try to pack too much at once, or it might clog the hole up, and you think that you have it. And if you don't, it won't do a good job, and it may not break the rock. If you pack it in layers, it will pack in there good, and basically stop the hole up. You want it stopped up because there's not a lot of power. I mean, there's a lot of power in this powder, but this isn't gonna like blow the rock into the sky and make a huge explosion. It's safe. It just, well, take that back. It's not super safe, but I mean, so far, all of mine have been very laid back. They're not, I just jammed that rock in there. Did not mean to do that. Try not to put rocks in there because it could stop the hole up and then it's not going to pack good. So anyway, we're packing. And I'm going to go ahead and keep packing this, but you just put you a little bit of clay in there, a little bit at a time, and slowly pack it until it's packed full. So, be right back. Alright, so I got all my clay packed in there real tight, and then I take clay. This is crucial. If your fuse goes to one side of the hole, don't worry about it. Just pack it in there tight against the side of the hole. It ain't gonna make no difference. You just, you know, you just basically want it covered and packed in there real tight. And just get you a pile of clay, or like I said, masonry sand, and go ahead and put it over the fuse like this and smash it down. And I basically try to get it to where a rock will sit on top of that real good. And this is the crucial part. Well, it's not the most crucial, but it is a crucial part. I have tested this without the rock and with the rock, and I'm not a scientist and can't tell you why. But if you take a large rock and you set it on top of this clay blob right here where the fuse is, holding that down in the hole, when it goes off, that makes it seal up, and it will break the rock. So we're gonna see if we did a good job. Ain't gonna lie, sometimes, probably, I don't know, maybe 1 out of 5 times it goes off. It's a good thump, but it don't break nothing. So here we go. Fire and hole. Always holler that in case the neighbors are out. All right, see, I got plenty of time to get away, and I'm gonna try to video back here. I don't know if you can see good. Try to zoom in some. It's not zooming. Well, I don't really feel comfortable, but it shouldn't do much. There it is. That's it. And that right there busted the rock underneath. Oh, now all this looks together, but this busted earlier when I blew it up on this side of the rock, and you can't really see there's cracks in there. It didn't move it much, but now that I can get in there with a backhoe and it'll pull all those pieces out. And I'll go ahead and see if I can't dig them out and show you guys what it looks like if you dig it out. Oh. Alright, I dug up rocks off a couple of them here. This one's the one I showed you. Ooh. You see it's all busted up. I'm going to have to blast this back part of it. It's still pretty solid. The backhoe wouldn't dig any more of that up. But all this is busted out. I've got some big rock here. And I'll probably use some of this bigger rock for hog pens and things. Because hogs can't tear up that. Well, I say that, but let's watch them. This is another one that I blasted earlier and I was able to separate it up. I'll be able to just set that in a bucket. So anyway, hope you guys maybe learn something. If you got a stubborn rock in your yard or something and it feels like a big deal to get rid of it, it might not be that big a deal. If I'd known about this in other places I lived, I would have had a lot less rocks to mow around. Because it's just, I mean, if you blast one, dig up pieces, you fill it in with some dirt, and you're off to the races. You can make your yard look pretty nice. I'm not much into making my yard look nice. I just want functionality, but I know other people enjoy it. So anyway, y'all have a good day, and hopefully things go good for you.